What's going on YouTube? My name is Ron King, back yet again with another video. As always, if you enjoy the content, leave a like on the video, comment on the video, and subscribe to the channel for related business content. Now, in today's video, we will be reacting to another Elon Musk interview. It's going to be a lot shorter than the last one that I did. If you want to check that one out, go ahead and click up in the right hand corner and you'll see that video. But without further ado, let's get right into it.
People want to be more like you.
Really?
So, and you know what, for the fate of humankind, I think it would be great to have more Elon Musks. So what do we need?
All right, let me stop it right there. There's only one Elon Musk, okay? You can't teach yourself to be like Elon Musk. There is something going on in his DNA or his brain that makes him just so unique and special. This man is on record saying that when he was about 7 years old, he thought he was going crazy. He thought he was a crazy person because he had all these different ideas popping into his head at one time and he couldn't control it. This is not a normal person. If you're the average Joe out there, you can't just be Elon Musk. Yes, you can work on your creativity and your innovation and your ingenuity, but you have to realize this person is one in a trillion. So let's keep that in mind and move on.
Need to do to become more like Elon?
I don't know if it's. I think it maybe sounds better than it is. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like.
You see how much difficulty he's having answering the question? I think he knows as well that he is one in a million, and there's probably not many people at all on this earth that could do what he does on a daily basis. So obviously he's not going to say that because he's in front of all these people and he needs to look relatable and all these things. But in his head, he knows these people can't be like me. But just being real with it. But let's keep going on.
Like, there's a friend of mine who's got a great saying about creating a company, which is trying to build a company and have it succeed is like eating glass and staring into the abyss.
All right, I gotta stop it again. That is a great point. The interview here, she's laughing, but this is no joke, because it's absolutely true. When you create a company, you're it's not gonna go exactly as planned. You're gonna have hiccups in the road. You're gonna face adversity, right? And when he says staring into the abyss, you don't know what the future holds. You have no idea. The uncertainty is crazy. You have no idea if the product or the service or the company is going to succeed, but you have to just keep going and you have to endure that pain of eating glass basically every single day until you find something that works. So that is a great analogy. Extremely good analogy.
So, I mean, what tends to happen is it's sort of quite exciting for the first several months of starting a company.
Yeah.
And then reality sets in. Things don't go as well as planned.
Yeah.
Customers aren't signing up. The technology or the product isn't working as well as you thought.
Yeah.
And then that can sometimes be compounded by a recession. And it can be very, very painful for several years. So I think, frankly, starting a company, I would advise people to have a high pain tolerance.
Yeah, yeah. And thanks for reminding us of the harsh, very harsh and brutal reality of launching a startup. There is that Elon Musk / Tony Stark mystique. People think, you are, Robert Downey Jr. modeled his character, Tony Stark, Iron Man, on you. It's easy, it's fun. You're a superhero titan of industry. But it's really hard. It's really difficult. And it's something that requires perseverance and grit. Do you fear that maybe in this generation or the younger generation that they don't have that perseverance and grit to take on these really tough challenges?
Let me stop that right there. Before he even answered the question, I think today's generation, they will definitely have a problem. Just because, especially in the United States and in these first world countries, we have a lot of BS problems. Problems that really aren't even problems. They just matter to us because we have it so good. And so it's going to be hard for a lot of people to learn how to persevere through things when it's so easy to quit and there's no consequences. And this is the whole thing with the participation trophies, 7th place trophies. These kids out here, they're not feeling the agony of defeat and then wanting to come back and be better. They're constantly being told that they're the best, they're the greatest, but they're really not. They're just average. And so this is something that I will be definitely instilling in my kids, that you need to go through adversity in order to succeed. You need to persevere. Don't quit. Don't give up. These good personality traits are what will make you successful. So let's move on.
I think some people do.
Yeah.
And but no, I think it is definitely true that, I mean, maybe there are occasionally companies that get created where there's not an extended period of extreme pain, but I'm not aware of very many of such instances.
Yeah.
So, but I do think that new great entrepreneurs are born every day, and we'll continue to see amazing companies get built. I mean, as long as people stay super focused on creating the absolute best product or service that really delights their end customer, if they stay focused on that, then if you get it such that your customers want you to succeed, then you probably will.
Right.
Wow, that was a great point. If your customers want you to succeed, then you will. That's a great point, because if your customers want you to succeed, they're going to continue to buy from you. Also, he said continue to focus on making the absolute best product that you can. And this is extremely important. The concept of product improvement and innovation is something that some companies will overlook, but they're making a huge mistake in doing that. If you watched the rise and fall of BlackBerry video that I put up, you'll see that the reason why BlackBerry failed is because I couldn't keep up with Apple and the iPhone. Apple and the iPhone destroyed BlackBerry. So if they would have created a phone just like the iPhone, they would probably still be in business today because they wouldn't have lost all their market share. But they didn't. They didn't innovate and they died. So that's what happens. If you don't make your product continually better and keep it up with the competition, then your product will fail. Let's move on.
You have to focus on the customer and delivering for them.
Yeah, make sure if your customers love you, your odds of success are dramatically higher.
Yeah. All the entrepreneurs in this room, they're listening to that message, and we're running out of time, so this is the final question. This is for the budding entrepreneurs in the room who could take an Elon Musk idea and run with it. I mean, quite famously, Hyperloop was the idea that you had to give away because you just don't have enough time to deal with it. What are the other ideas that you have that you would love to see another entrepreneur just take on and go?
Well, I think there's a lot of opportunity in general in electrification of transport. So electric aircraft, I think there's a lot of opportunity there. I think in genetics, although that's sort of a thorny area, but I think that's in terms of solving some of the more intransigent diseases. Genetics are really key to solving those. Something that I think people maybe only beginning to look at is establishing some kind of brain-computer interface.
A brain-computer interface.
Yeah, at the
So real quick, what he's talking about is basically Neuralink. This is something that he's actually developing now, and it's going to be something very complicated that I'm not even sure how to articulate. But basically, you'll be able to communicate with people without having to talk to them, and there's a lot of different other things that go into it. But it's going to be something that's very revolutionary in the world, and it's going to change how we communicate with each other forever. So, hopefully that comes out soon. I'm excited for it. But let's keep moving on and finish up.
neuron level. So this is sort of intelligence augmentation as opposed to artificial intelligence.
Right.
And I think that has a lot of potential.
You mentioned to me yesterday. I really had kind of no idea what you were talking about, and then I looked up Ian Banks. Neural lace.
Neural lace.
That's right.
Exactly.
And so it's this concept of wiring the brain. So it's either there could be a brain internet. And it could also mean that we can upload our thoughts to the cloud.
All right, I'm gonna stop it right there. That's a revolutionary idea. It looks like he was calling it Neuralace. I don't know if the name has changed since then, but I remember, especially on the Joe Rogan podcast, he was talking about Neuralink. So I'm not sure if it changed or whatever, because this is a bit of an older interview from 2018, so it probably has changed since then. But great insight from the man Elon. I appreciate his perspective. And another thing, people should be grateful for him giving out these ideas. Basically, he said electronic aircrafts. He was talking about genetics and also talking about intelligence augmentation through Neuralink. So very great information here, and I hope you guys gained some value from it. I know I did. So that's about it for this video. If you enjoyed the content, leave a like on the video, comment on the video with any feedback you might have, and subscribe to the channel for any business related content. As always, my name is Ron King. Have a great day. Peace.